All right, so what we're going to be doing in this lesson now that we're signed up for how the market works is we're going to be researching some stocks to investigate whether or not we want to buy them. Um, and the best piece of advice, especially for someone trying to enter the stock market, is to buy what you know. In other words, what are things that you use in your life? What are things that you've come across and things that you value? Because those are the things you're going to be the most interested in. They're the things you're going to keep track of the most, and they're the things that are going to keep you engaged in this project and in the real stock market if you so choose to invest one day. So I want you to think about some of the products you know a lot about. What are some products and services that you use all the time? And what are some of your favorite products and services? So understand product is, something like shoes, something that you can hold, it's tangible. A service would be like Facebook or Instagram or a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant, they're serving you food, they're providing a service for you. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky, and this is what I want to walk you through in the video. Most products and services are owned by what's known as a parent company. All right. Some parent companies have stock, and others are owned privately. So, for example, I like Brooks Brothers. Okay, Brooks Brothers is a men's clothing brand. They make dress shirts and suits and ties and all sorts of stuff. So I'm gonna search Brooks Brothers. If I could type Brothers parent company. And so if I look, Brooks Brothers parent company, nothing really comes up, and there's a good reason for that. So if I look at the Wikipedia article, and I can help you with this with individual companies. So Brooks Brothers is the oldest men's clothier in the United States. All right, headquartered on Madison Avenue. Founded in 1818 as a family business, the privately owned company is owned by the Italian billionaire Claudio Del Vecchio. All right, so this is a privately owned company. In other words, Brooks Brothers does not sell stock, and the company that owns Brooks Brothers does not sell stock either in Brooks Brothers. So we can't buy Brooks Brothers. I can't own a piece of Brooks Brothers. Claudio Del Vecchio owns Brooks Brothers, and he doesn't want to give up any of it. So that would be a company that would be ineligible for this research. So we're going to start another company. So you know what? Think of a product. I like Pringles, the chips. So I'm going to go Pringles parent company. All right, and so Pringles. So it looks like, if we look here, Wikipedia, Pringles is a brand of potato and wheat-based snackable snack chips owned by the Kellogg Company. So Kellogg's owns Pringles. In other words, there is no parent company of Pringles. Pringles is a brand that is owned by Kellogg. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Kellogg Company stock symbol. All right? And it's just K. Kellogg would be what we call blue chip stock. Kellogg is a huge company and does a lot of great stuff. All right, so now I'm going to be researching Kellogg Company. Why did I decide to research the company? What drew me to the company? Well, I enjoy the Pringles brand of chips, and I decided to research their Pringles parent company, and it turned out to be Kellogg. Okay, done. That was easy. The stock symbol, well, that was K. That was easy. Current price as of the day of research. So you can do research on Google. You can also do research on how the market works. So research on Google, I'm not going to show you that, but I can show you the research on how the market works. So on my green menu, if I go to quotes, all right, and there's a lot here that I like. So if I go to market quotes, I can type in the symbol, K, go, and it's Kellogg Company, all right? And there's so much information here which we're going to be using. So So here we are. So K is Kellogg Company, and the current stock price is 73. Looks like 73.44, 73.42. Doesn't matter. It's only a couple pennies there. $73.44. Then I would like you to see graphically how this stock is done over 3 different time periods: a 3-month graph, a 1-year graph, and if they do have it, a 5-year graph. Companies like to combine together, and sometimes you can't get a 5-year graph because the company didn't exist. For example, Heinz, which you may have heard of, Heinz ketchup, and wait, I had this. It was Heinz and Procter & Gamble. No. Anyway, two of those major companies combine, and they don't have stock. Oh, Kraft and Heinz. That's right. Kraft and Heinz combined to make one big company, and they've been around for only a couple of months as one big company. But obviously, they were split up before and had stocks. Anyway, so let's actually try to get a 3-month graph of Kellogg Company. So I'll go here. I can hit. This is today, as you can see. This was just on Friday, which is the last time the market was open. Now, if I hit 3 months, here's my stock. So it's gone up, it's gone down a bit, and then it's kind of come up a bit, which is good. So if I bought it in November, for example, I would have bought it at $70 a share, and now it's worth $73.44 a share. All right? That's how you can read this graph, and you can see kind of what's happened. So what you can do is take a screenshot of this. On a Mac, if you press the Command, Control, Shift, and 4 keys, you will get a crosshair. See this crosshair here with the numbers? What that allows you to do is allows you to click and drag, and you can get a screenshot. So I can get a screenshot. It'll make a little noise, a little camera noise, like I just did. And then I can actually cut and paste this into my document. That's why we're using a Word document for this. So now you have the 3-month graph, all right? And I would like a 1-year graph. So the 1-year graph, Command, Control, Shift, 4. Here's my 1-year graph. All right? Now, just to kind of show you the math on this, okay? I just want to show you the math on this a little bit. So, and this is something I think we're going to end up calculating. So let's say I have, right now, on a year ago today, it was trading at roughly $64 a share. And now it's up to $73 a share. So imagine if you bought 100 shares last year. Okay? That was $64 a share. Okay? Which means you spent $6,400. 100 times 64. Now, the 100 shares now, okay, is now $73.44 a share. Which, if you do the math there, that's $7,344. So, let's say you were to sell today. Let's say you had bought 100 shares last year, and you have 100 shares now. Well, guess what? You would have made $73.44 minus your $6,400. That's what you paid for it. And you would have made $944. Pretty good. And that's how you make money in the stock market. Or that's one way to make money in the stock market. All right? So we're going to be calculating this as Part E. I'm going to add this in. Part E. A profit or a loss on the stock after 1 year. All right? So our profit, we would have made a profit of $944, which is pretty cool. All right? We would have made a profit of $944. And you also want to get an idea of what the stock has done over a longer period of time. So click More. If you can, like I said, some companies haven't existed. So I can hit 5-year. All right? I can hit 5-year. And you can see, and this is where, this is where money is really made in the stock market over a long period of time. Here's my graph, 5 years. I just cut it and pasted it. There's my 5-year graph. And you can really see over 5 years, I started at about $47 in 2011, and now we're at 73. So we can actually calculate this as well. So my again, 100 shares of this stock was worth, say, 40, what did I say? 4,700, okay? 100 shares in, say, February 2011. And now I have 100 shares in February 2015, and that's worth 73.44. And so what was my profit if I were to sell today? Well, I have 73.44 minus 4,700, and that would be $2,644. So again, think about this. You started make an investment of $4,700. 5 years later, you've made more than half of that money. Right? 2644 is more than half of 4,700. And that's the power of the stock market. So we have a profit of $944 after 1 year, and profit of $2,644 after 5 years. All right. The other thing you might want to do, and we're going to do it for the purposes of this project, is a link to an official report on the stock. So again, when you buy something, you want to know as much about it as you can. So if I go, there's lots of things you can do here. You can search the company. You can read about the company itself, what they do, what their finances were like, and things like that. You can look at their financials, and you know, I am not an expert at this stuff. Excuse me. So if you wanted to kind of talk about what's happening here, basically, you know, if you look at assets versus liabilities, you want your assets to be higher than liabilities. Obviously, liabilities are bad, assets are good. So you want to make sure that you have sort of a balance between them. And I think most important, if you go to analyst, all right, there are analyst holdings. So the consensus rating for Kellogg's is hold. And what that means is that if you have it, you hold on to it. If you're thinking about buying it, it's not a strong buy right now. So there are some stocks that are strong buys, moderate buys, or strong sells, things you want to get rid of. But virtually analysts recommending to hold this stock, all right? And that's pretty much consistent, although you can see there's a little bit of a trend on selling, but mainly stock would be held in this case. So here would be my report. I can link this, all right? Here's a link to an official report on the stock and a written analysis of whether or not you think you should buy the stock. In this case, I might say, in my opinion, I might say, well, Kellogg is a well-known stock that is stable. Some people call this a blue chip stock. And its growth over the last year and last 5 years has been solid. So I am deciding to buy this stock. Okay? And this is just an example. I do want to show you an example of, for example, Google, which is the symbol GOOG. All right? We'll go just to give you a different example of a company. Now, Google stock is very expensive. It's $742 a share, as opposed to Kellogg, which was $73 a share. But if I look at the consensus, look at the consensus report for Google, it's a strong buy. Okay? Lots and lots of analysts are saying buy Google. So this might be something that you consider. And again, you can see the charts. If you go to charts, you can actually see the growth of Google stock. It's been unbelievable, actually. You can actually see after a year. All right. A year ago, it was trading at $525 a share, and now it's at nearly $750 a share. So you're talking about unbelievable amounts of money. Now, to be fair, I'm going to show you Apple as well. Apple is AAPL, I believe. Yep. Okay. So Apple, after a year, Apple has gone down. So this is not, this is not without risk here. So after a year, Apple was at $117 a share, and now it's $95 a share. So investing is not without risk. But of course, there are rewards here too. And this is really how wealth is generated by wealthy people. All right, so you're going to be doing this process for 5 different companies of your choosing. And again, I would start with a product or a service that you know and love, and then try to find your parent companies. Thanks, guys.